Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we got 5 trades that will happen before the NBA trade deadline, man. So now, like, the deadline's coming up, I'm hearing so many crazy rumors all over the place, bro. Like, I just heard today about Zach LaVine potentially going to the Los Angeles Lakers. Just, like, stuff like that. Like, so many names being tossed around. Every single damn team out there trying to take my boy Derrick Rose. So yeah, we're checking out 5 trades that will happen. So, you know, no cap, no snuggie, whatever you want to say, bro. These things are going to be happening out there, okay? Straight up. Video by Get Like Hoop. Link to his channel description below. Here we go.
The NBA trade deadline is approaching.
Yep, that it is.
Teams know that they have to take action if they want to take that next step.
Notice it's
and
showing the
truly
Houston
become
Rockets.
a contender in the NBA.
They've been losing a lot of games.
Some teams, they're already contending, but they need that final piece
Miami Heat.
to solidify
Miami
their
Heat,
championship run. And while other teams, they're trying to gear up for the future. They're trying to make sure they can be good for the long haul.
And make sure their damn
I
star
think
player
trades
don't
are
leave,
always
right?
so interesting.
Shit,
Because
bro.
there's not always a clear.
Can you imagine if Trae Young actually left the Atlanta Hawks just because like they never like built around him correctly, and then not only did like because like Luka Trae being good makes that not seem as bad, but if Trae were to leave, then it's like not only did you lose out on Luka, but also the guy you traded Luka for left. Like that would just be a big time, probably the biggest sell. Like at that point, you probably got to sell the team to like Seattle or something like that, bro.
Winner or a clear loser. Sometimes it takes years to find out who won or lost a trade. Even though at the time it might seem obvious, it isn't.
We are all
And
victims of the moment.
There's 2 winners, and other times, well, by now I'm sure you get the picture. We've seen players disgruntled and lashing out this season. Some players, they don't like their situation.
Yeah, you like that Supermax
And
contract,
others
so don't
just
you, Kevin
really
Love?
don't want
You
to
like
lose.
that.
And at this stage of their
Finesse
career,
at its best.
could you blame them? This video,
Well, damn, don't stop the damn contract then. That's what what's wrong with them here now, bro. It's like everybody straight up going out there, and you got all these big name players that are like, getting older. Or not even older, because even got like Bradley Beal situation. Like he knew the Washington Wizards were trash. He knew they were gonna be trash. Like he was a damn All-Star last year. He knew John Wall was gonna be out. But he still signed that extension. What's going to happen is guys are going to do this, get these Supermax contracts. They're going to play Mr. Buddy Buddy. And then once they get the Supermax, so they can get that extra money there, they're then going to bitch and moan and complain the entire time until they get traded. That's the new NBA, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. I got it.
Speaking of the Denver Nuggets and trades, I think teams should be aggressive going forward trying to get Malik Beasley. He's an impact player who might not reach their ceiling in Denver. With that being said, be sure to follow my IG, handle G Like Coop. You guys will not want to miss another post. First on my trade list, I have the Los Angeles Lakers trading with the Brooklyn Nets. Kyle Kuzma and Danny Green
For who?
for Spencer Dinwiddie.
Hey, that's not, y'all know LeBron trying to get
There's a
Kyrie.
few reasons
LeBron gonna
I
try to
make
get
this
Kyrie.
offer. The Los Angeles Lakers need a point guard and also a shooting guard that can provide an offensive punch when Anthony Davis and LeBron aren't going.
They got Caruso.
Now, I'm not saying Danny Green isn't capable of providing an offensive punch.
He ain't. Not like
but
that.
Spencer Dinwiddie gives you an element that the Lakers really don't have at the moment.
Go-to
They
guard.
don't have that third consistent scorer who can go out and apply pressure to defenses on their own, that can go out and get their own buckets. We thought that would be Kuzma, but he's been really inconsistent this year. And again,
Yeah, I mean, he had
Dinwiddie
injuries
is
early
capable
on,
of running
I guess.
the offense on his own. Now, I'm not sure if LA would have to add picks to this deal or not. But with the proper pick compensation, I believe the Nets would be
Bro, they
interested
only got
in this
picks to
deal
trade no more.
because now you have
They're all
Kyrie
gone.
Irving
They're
with
all
a
gone,
shooter
man.
like Danny Green next to him.
Pelicans got
I
them
know
all.
the Nets have Joe Harris, but let's just think. You have Danny Green, a guy that's been in the big moments, that's hit the big shots, that's played in multiple big games throughout his career, that could help bring some experience to a team that may not need more experience, but it never hurts. And then on the other end, you have Kyle Kuzma, a role player in Los Angeles.
Be a great
but
third
he can
option.
also-
Wait. Ain't that we supposed to be on the Lakers? What's he supposed to be? Because I was hearing superstar third option from people,
for
man.
some
All-star at
big
least.
time upside. Kuzma is somebody that in the right system can give you big games, can be a big time player. We're looking at somebody that's a year removed from averaging almost 20 points a game.
Oh, yeah, when he's
Kyrie
on, he's
wanted
on.
the Nets to make moves.
When
He
he's
wanted
on, he's on.
improvement. He wanted role players. He
denying
wanted
that.
guys that offered upside.
Ain't no denying that.
And most importantly, guys that fit. Now, I know earlier I named DeAndre Jordan in the starting lineup. I would personally start Jared Allen But DeAndre seems to be boys with Kyrie, boys with KD, so the Nets may opt
Motor
to
City,
do that
bitch.
in the future. But
Fuck, man.
Jared is a monster.
Okay,
The
okay,
next
okay.
trade is one I absolutely love, but
good.
I know that both sides may feel a type of way about this. I have Kevin Love for Clint Capela and PJ Tucker.
Ooh,
Right now,
man,
I think
that's
the
a
Cavaliers do this because Clint Capela is a valuable asset for a team like the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, great contract.
They don't have to keep Capela. They could try to flip him, or they could keep him on the roster because he's only 25 years old. And obviously, it's
Only
in the
16 mil a
Cavs'
season.
best interest to take the youth approach. Also, after seeing how Kevin Love behaved, there may not be too many teams that are interested in taking a risk on him.
But who
So
the-
this Clint Capela, PJ Tucker package could be one of the best.
But who the hell are the Rockets going to run at center then? D'Antoni don't play Hartenstein, and Tyson Chandler is like 93, so I'm not quite sure.
That the Cavs
I
could
ain't quite
possibly
sure.
get, because you have the Houston Rockets who have Russell Westbrook and
Yep.
James Harden on this timeline. This timeline has to come soon. These guys have to win now.
They're not gonna win a
There is
championship.
no other option.
That's the issue, is that they're on this timeline. If they were, if they were on timeline 10 years ago, or maybe 10 years in the future be different. This timeline, though, there's just way too better of a teams out there and better systems.
For James Harden
Sorry,
and
I'm
Russell
sorry, Rocket
Westbrook.
fans. Somebody had to
Let's
say it.
look at some facts.
Somebody had to say
Kevin Love
it.
is the perfect fit for James Harden and Westbrook. You have Kevin Love, who has been a spot-up shooter before, who has excelled in that role, but also offers more and offers championship experience.
Okay.
He is somebody
Yep, I
that is
agree.
perfect, that is playable in the playoffs, that's going to space the floor for James.
Damn, now the bitch ass injuries, though. Like, they would be one injury away from detrimental circumstances. Detrimental circumstances.
Harden that's going to space the floor for Russell Westbrook. Not only is he going to do
Catastrophical
that, but again,
disaster.
take it back to the playoffs. The Rockets couldn't play Clint Capela in certain stretches in the playoffs because teams would flat out play him off of the floor. Well, I know what you're thinking. What about PJ Tucker? PJ Tucker has been very inconsistent this year.
I would give Daniel
Somebody
House over
that has
PJ Tucker.
occasionally gotten bullied on the glass. He's only about 6'5", 6'6". Now you bring in Kevin Love, legit big man again, and
Daniel House, Clint Capela, first round draft pick for Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love. Tristan's on an expiring deal. They get a draft pick out of it. That's not a bad little haul right there. You then have PJ Tucker that you switch over to the 3 spot, can still play in the corner, can still play defense. Kevin Love goes to the 4. PJ being at the 3, but also having Kevin Love at the 4 negates the rebounding issues. And then, of course, you got Tristan Thompson at the 5 spot. We can essentially play this, plug and play just like Clint Capela can.
somebody
So,
that is an elite
that's
rebounder.
what I would do.
I would love to see this move happen.
That's what I would
Up
do.
next, we have Chris Paul for Dante, Eric Bledsoe, and Ilya Silva. Now, this is one of the most confusing moves of the decade because
Yeah, more so
I
why would
don't
the-
know who would
but-
have to add picks in this scenario.
Why would the Thunder do it?
On one hand, you have Chris Paul, who has been absolutely phenomenal this season, but then you look at his contract and question marks start to pop up over everybody's head.
And the man already said straight up, Chris Paul said, hey, I ain't giving it up, man. I'm not going to take lesser of a contract to help a trade swing through finances. He's like, hell no, man. You gonna pay me my $44 million.
Honestly, I didn't even know they made contracts that big. And then you see this tweet, no one wants CP3. Supposedly, an executive said this about Chris Paul's trade value. Now, this came about a month ago, so take it with a grain of salt. But it's still interesting.
They were still
I'd have
balling a
to
month ago,
think
weren't
the
they?
Thunder are
They were
looking
still
towards
balling a
the
month
future.
ago.
Chris Paul has been phenomenal in his mentor role, but this team has to know it's not winning right now. And it could know that and keep Chris Paul because it has more picks than I've ever seen. But it's still interesting to discuss. Now you look at this from the Bucks' perspective. They've never had a guard like Chris Paul play with Giannis. Somebody that sees the floor at such a high level, that controls the pace of the game
Well, he played with Thon
at
Maker,
such an elite level.
so-
He would make life so much easier for Giannis and perhaps the whole Bucks team. This is a team that could be one marginal move away from winning it all.
I
or
think they're
could
already
win
there.
it all with the roster they have right now. This team is that good. The next trade I have, I know, is going to make a lot of people unhappy.
Let's hear it.
But this is a trade that honestly benefits both sides.
Let's hear it.
Assuming Embiid is able to come back healthy fairly soon. Now, you have Damian Lillard for Ben Simmons and Al Horford.
Oh, man!
The reason the Trailblazers make this trade is assume they don't make the playoffs this year. Now, you have Ben Simmons.
That's a blockbuster, bro. That's a damn family video, man. Oh, my God. That's a Hollywood. That's the trade right there, man. I ain't even saying it's a bad trade either. It's not a bad trade.
Clearly elite player. This is a guy with all of the potential in the world that I feel like isn't going to reach it in Philadelphia. I think him and Embiid's game contradict each other's style.
Yeah, him and CJ would kill it, though.
Too much. A lot of times Embiid goes on record and says he shoots a lot of threes because nobody else will do it. He is tired of some of Ben Simmons' antics.
Yo,
and if you don't believe me, you can search the quotes yourself, or you could go to my Ben Simmons to the Warriors video. Embiid has to create a lot of spacing for the 76ers when the team should be creating spacing around him to make his life easier. Ben Simmons could be ridiculously elite in the right system, and honestly, his game would complement McCollum's so well.
Yeah, I agree with that, 1,000,000,000%.
You have this dynamic scorer at the perimeter that you put next to Ben Simmons, one of the best passers in the NBA. Makes too much sense. Now, I know Dame is committed to Portland, and Portland likely doesn't make this move.
Hey, loyalty don't exist in the NBA.
Philadelphia 76ers. But this is a deal that would greatly benefit both sides, because with the 76ers,
I like that trade, man. Like, that's actually that trade sounds interesting.
You get Embiid,
oh man, I don't know if it would ever happen.
Lillard. This guy is creating spacing out to half court. They call this guy Logo Dame for good reason. You wanted a perimeter playmaker who could shoot the ball. Look no further.
It's because he raps.
Damian Lillard,
that too.
Perfect fit for Joel Embiid. But after all, maybe the 76ers would rather keep Simmons. He's looked phenomenal with Embiid out.
Oh, they would take Damian in a heartbeat.
And finishing at a high level. And of course, I do think there's still hope that this duo can figure it out. Now, this last trade I had to entertain. It's Devin Booker for Danny Green, Cousins, Cook, and Kuzma. And future picks from the Los Angeles Lakers.
They don't got those picks, man. Like they got picks way down the road, man. I don't know like when they start up again, but that should. If I'm the Phoenix Suns, I understand they're not winning with Devin Booker, but I just feel like there's so much more they could get for him.
Now, unfortunately for the Lakers, a lot of their future picks went to Anthony Davis.
Right, exactly. Yep.
Or the New Orleans Pelicans.
He knows.
And I guess you could say fortunately, because that has worked out greatly. But honestly, Devin Booker in LA would be the perfect star for Anthony Davis in LeBron
hell yeah,
James.
he would.
The Suns have given him experience running point guard and being the main ball handler. And we're talking about the sharpest of sharpshooters. This guy is a different type of scorer. When people say bucket, they should think of Devin Booker. While it's fun to imagine, I still can't believe Stephen A. Smith said this trade. I want to know in the comments below what...
Yeah, because that's just like, a broken down Boogie, a bleach blonde Kuzma, and then old ass Danny Green. It's just that will not get enough for Devin Booker right there, guys. That is the end of the video, man. This was very well put together, very interesting. That Damian trade, Ben Simmons trade, that one sounds interesting, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section below which crazy trades you want to see happen or you think will happen by the trade deadline. Thank y'all so much for watching. Peace out.